So, hello everybody and welcome. Yes, welcome back here at BSN Network. Today we welcome you back here at BSN Arc. This is the BSN Arc podcast here today. It is Friday, September 11th. Hope everybody's having a good day so far and had a good rest of their day yesterday. I know I did. Hopefully you did as well and is having a good day so far today. Today is officially my first game picks of the year. First game picks of the season. I will give you all the games on Sunday, who I think is going to win, why I think they're going to win, spreads, over-unders, so you can maybe make your picks yourself. I will preview the Jets game after this. Pretty exciting. I'll tell you what, it's very exciting to see football back on. Yesterday's game looked good, sounded good, really felt like a football game. I mean, you really wouldn't know that there was only 16,000 fans in there because the crowd was actually very loud for only being 16,000 fans until you actually saw, like an overhead shot or when they would show like a different camera angle and you see all the empty seats and you realize, okay, this is not really normal, but it looked normal. It sounded normal. I wouldn't so much say if it looked normal. I mean, the sidelines, Andy Reid had that big face shield on. Obviously the coaches had masks on. I wouldn't so much say that was normal, but meaning like the play, the fans, the noise, it was normal. I expected, to be honest, a lot worse. Meaning, like, I expected it to be a good game, but I expected it to look and sound different than what we're expecting. And actually, it looked good and it sounded pretty good. For given that there's only 16,000 fans there, it looked good and sounded good. So, to be honest, the NFL, they're doing everything right. They're doing things right at the moment, and that's what's good. So they're able to get it going. Chiefs obviously won yesterday's game. They obviously won yesterday's game by a score of 34-20. Was not quite on with my pick. Was actually 1 point off, and I was actually 5 total points off. 4 off on the Texans, 1 on the Chiefs. So it was close with my pick, but I did say that the over-under would be over 53.5. That's correct. That was 54, and I got correct. I said they will win by more than 10. The over-under was, I think the odds were 9, so I said they would win by 11. They ended up winning by 14, so I was correct. So my game pick yesterday was correct. I'm 1-0 now on the season. Today I've got a ton of picks to get to. As a matter of fact, I have a ton of picks, which is usually where your record gets hurt because you usually don't get all the picks correct. Upsets, teams out of the middle of nowhere that just win. Usually don't get all those picks right. So with all that being said, though, I'm going to run through the list of today's games. So we have the NFL game picks today, / the Jets. I'll preview the Jets game and the Bills. Week 1, Jets, Bills, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, CBS Sports Network. Or CBS, not Sports Network, CBS. So should be a lot of fun. Excited for that game. I'll preview that, go over the rest of the game picks. Then we have the fantasy overview. So fantasy football overview will be just talking about fantasy football, who you could start, who you shouldn't start. Just kind of guys that are questionable that either are going to play or not going to play. So it really is just everything fantasy. Like I said, today's Football Friday. I talk about football today on these Fridays. I do game picks and stuff like that. Then to cap off the show, we have the Yankees, Mets, Islanders, Chiefs versus Texans. We'll run through what happened in that game. Then also Miami, UAB. Miami took the win yesterday against UAB. So they won. The Yankees play a doubleheader today. Islanders play today. Chiefs, Texans played yesterday. Miami, UAB played yesterday. Jets play Sunday. A lot of sports within the next 2 days. So should be good. I'm going to keep you all up to date on these. Obviously, I'm not going to keep you up to date on the weekend because obviously I don't do pods on the weekend. But Monday through Friday next week, I'll be covering all the games. On Monday, I'll run through all the games, tell you what happened, stuff like that. So we'll be running through all that. But with all that being said, this is the BSN podcast, and let's get right into it. So this is my my very first game picks of the season. So I'm actually going to I give you my game picks. I'm going to pretty much give you my game picks, who I think is going to win, who I think is going to lose, why I think that team's going to win, why I think that team's going to lose. I'm going to pretty much give you my game picks. That's not going to work. But I'm going to give you pretty much my game picks. You know how they work. I've done pods before, but I know I've taken a long break, and this is actually last year I did a Sunday pod for football. This year I'm not doing that. I started with the Round of Diamond, to be honest. I'm usually busy on the weekends, so it's kind of difficult for me to do a pod on the weekend. That's why I take the weekends off, because it's kind of difficult to do the pod. As for weekdays, if I have anything, it's not until later on in the day. So usually I could do a pod earlier, get it uploaded, then whatever I have to do is later on in the day. The weekends, I'm doing stuff all day. So, although now with football starting up, Sundays are free because I usually watch the Jets games. I watch all the Jets games, so that's good. But these are the games. So, completed game so far was the Chiefs-Texans yesterday. Like I said, I'll run through that later, although, I'm sure a lot of people were watching it, so, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a brief thing. Mahomes, 3 touchdowns, 211 yards. You kind of know the stats. You kind of know what happened. I'm sure a lot of people were watching it first because, first of all, it's the first football game of the season. People wanted to see what it was like. I'm sure the ratings were extra high, so I'm sure you know what happened. I'm sure a lot of people watched it. I watched it, so, obviously, I'm going to explain it, but mainly you already know what is happened. So, anyway, Jets-Bills are actually, since they're my favorite team, they're first up here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save that till later because obviously I talk about New York sports, so I spend a little bit more time on the New York sports teams. Also, the Jets are my favorite team, so I really run through them. So, starting off the season with a Bears-Lions matchup, over under 42.5, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. It's the Bears versus the Lions. Lions-Bears, however you want to say it. The Lions are home for this game, although home field advantage is not really a big thing now in football, especially with everything going on. Here's my whole thing. This is a pretty good game, I think. The Lions are good. They've got a good offense. They've got a pretty good offense. Lions offense isn't bad. DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson, players like that. Then you're followed by Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones Jr. Hawkinson at the tight end position will have a breakaway play here and there. Nothing special. And to be honest, I don't think he's all that good. Sometimes he'll have a breakaway play here and there, whether it's a ball that's caught for 25 yards or something will have a breakaway play here and there. Your running backs are good. Your receivers are good. Your quarterback's average, nothing special. In Matthew Stafford, getting a little bit older, but he's still decent. He could still play decent in this league. He could still be a quality quarterback for the Lions. So the Lions have struggled a little bit in the past couple years, but and I think this game will be a pretty big win for them. I have the Lions winning this game. Although their defense isn't amazing, I just think the Bears offense just can't do anything. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game, 14-10, 13-10, 10-7. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Bears defense is good. Lions defense is not that good, but they're decent, but their Bears offense is horrible. So I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game. Neither team is overpowering on any side of the ball. Bears defense, you could say they're the best defense in the league, but we have to see that. 2 years ago they were. Last year they weren't. We have to see what they're going to bring this year. Neither team's overpowering on offense. Bears are very good on defense, but you also got to realize the Lions, I think, could really work around that. And also, the Bears on offense is horrible. Mitchell Trubisky, probably going to start, but Mitchell Trubisky more than likely is not going to do very well. He's got one good receiver in Allen Robinson, David Montgomery and TJ Cohen and players like that behind him, or Tariq Cohen. Other than that, it's nothing special. You're talking about a Lions win here. I said the Lions win. They have 3. They're giving the line. The Bears are 3, or the Lions are 3-point favorites. Over under is 42.5. I take the under on that. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I'm saying like 17-14, 14-10, 10-7. I don't think it's going to be that high. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think it could reach in the 20s. Maybe you see a 21-14 game. I just don't think the Bears defense is going to, or the Bears offense is just going to score that much. You might see you could very well see maybe a 28-10 game in favor of the Lions. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game. Almost both these teams are almost good and are equal in skill. It's just that little bit that just makes that difference. So I say the Lions win. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, but I give the Lions the win here. So that's my first pick of the season. Lions take the win. Next up, or first, not technically because I gave the Chiefs yesterday. Next up, we have the Ravens, Browns. I think this is very well easy. I think the Ravens, who went 14-2 last year, 7.5-point favorites, over under 48. I think we go over on this one, over 48. 7.5-point favorites. I think the Ravens absolutely blow out the Browns. I think it's going to be somewhere around 35-14, 35-17. I take the over on the 48 because I think very well they could straight up score 40 themselves, the Ravens. So I take the over-under on the 48. Yes, they have Myles Garrett back. Yes, they have, a couple good players here and there. Denzel Ward, a couple players that are good on that team. Joe Schobert, players around, pretty good players on that defense. I still think this is a Ravens offense. Lamar Jackson, Marquise Brown, Mark Ingram, Mark Andrews, good offensive line. I think this is just a team that's just too dominant to even, I think the Browns are just going to lose. The Browns offense is average at best at times. I think, you have Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, David Njoku, but David Njoku's not there. Austin Hooper, but you look at it, right? Landry, Beckham, Baker, Nick Chubb, very good. Austin Hooper, good. Your offense is full of average players, I think. So I think the Ravens win this game pretty easily against the Browns. So I say the Ravens win. So I have the Lions and the Ravens so far winning their games. Next up, we have the Jaguars, Colts, over under 45. Colts are 7.5-point favorites. I think this is straight up. I think this is a straight up Colts win this game. I mean, you're talking Jaguars could be very well one of the worst teams in the NFL. I maybe only behind the Redskins or maybe only in front of the Redskins. I think they could very well be the worst team in the NFL. I think it's either them or the Redskins are probably the worst team in the NFL. And I think the Colts are not that bad. Colts got Michael Pittman, Phillip Rivers, Marlon Mack, T.Y. Hilton, the very reliable T.Y. Hilton, Jonathan Taylor from the draft. Your defense isn't amazing, but you got to look at what you're going against in the Jaguars offense. The strength of that Jaguars team is on the defensive side of the ball, so you're not going to have to really worry about their offensive overpowering you. This is Phillip Rivers' first game with the Colts. It could get a little choppy. I think the Colts win this game. 7.5-point favorites. I think they cover. I think they win by 14. I think they could very well win this game by 14. I think the Colts are 24 to anywhere from 24 to 14, somewhere like that. Over under 45. Probably I'm going to say no, because I don't think the Jaguars have a very good offense. I think the Colts win 24. I think the best could be 34-10 or 31-10. And it could get ugly. I don't think the Jaguars offense is all that. So Colts win this game. So far, I got the Lions, the Ravens, and the Colts taking these games. 2 home teams and 1 away team. Coming up next, we got the Patriots and the Dolphins. Patriots are 6.5-point favorites, over under 42. To be honest, I actually think this game is going to be closer than a lot of people think. I know it's Cam Newton's first game. I get it. Cam Newton's a good quarterback. He's a good player, good quarterback. I understand. I think this could very well be a field goal game. I think this is going to be a little bit of an interesting game. Dolphins last season beat them in Week 17. Made the Chiefs get the number 1 seed, get the first round bye, had the Patriots have to play the Titans in the wild card game. They ended up losing that game. Dolphins almost spoiled the Patriots season last year. I think the Dolphins with Fitzpatrick, I think everybody's rooting for the Dolphins here. I think a lot of people just want to see the Patriots fail without Brady. I think just people in periods just want to see for once maybe the Patriots could finish 500 for once. I think some people think that. Personally, I don't think that. I think the Patriots will either finish 8-8 or 9-7 this season. I think they'll have an average season. I think a lot of people want to see the Patriots fail. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Patriots will win this game, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think. I think a lot of people might think, Patriots are going to win. If somebody thinks the Patriots are going to win, it's going to be like a 14-point game, 13-10. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it could very well be a 6-point game. I think at most it's going to be like a touchdown game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the Dolphins are going to bring up a fight. I think the Patriots will outlast them late. I think Cam Newton might make some good plays down the stretch. But all in all, I have the Patriots winning this game. So Patriots winning against the Dolphins. I think the Patriots move to 1-0 in the season. I hate to say it, but I mean, I think that's just going to be the case here. Next up, Eagles versus the Redskins. I think this is one of the easiest decisions of them all. Eagles are going to win this game. I mean, the Redskins are probably one of the worst teams in all the league, or the Washington football team, whatever you want to call them. They're probably one of the worst teams in the league. Washington, they're easily probably one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst. Eagles, I think, are going to have a field day on them. Their defense, besides Chase Young, is offense, Dwayne Haskins, and a good receiver, but not a good quarterback. I mean, you're talking about a team that's got like one very good player, and that could very well be Chase Young. Terry McLaurin is their best receiver. He's actually pretty solid. You lost 2 running backs in Darius Geis and Adrian Peterson. You got 1 receiver. It's to the point now where I just believe that this is just a team that's just not going to be able to compete in this NFL this season. So I foresee the Redskins winning this game. I think that's going to not the Redskins, the Eagles winning this game. I think the Eagles cover 5.5. Over-under is 42.5. I think it's over. I think the Eagles will score 35 here, and the Redskins may only score like 7. I think the Eagles have a field day on their defense. I think the Redskins struggle. I think the Eagles just absolutely dominate, and I think 5.5 is way too less. And like I said, it's not to the point where I'm overhyping the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles are personally that good of a team. But when you look at the Redskins, look who they're playing against. Every team, I mean, the Redskins make any team look good. So I have the Eagles winning this game, big time. So far, these are my winners. This is probably this upcoming pick is probably a pick that's either gonna make or break week 1. It's either because I feel confident with all these picks. I mean, I feel confident. Lions, Bears are gonna be a close game, but I believe the Colts are gonna win, Patriots are gonna win, Ravens are gonna win, Eagles are gonna win. I think these picks are relatively easy. This next pick's difficult. So far I have the Lions, Ravens, Colts, Patriots, and Eagles taking wins. This next game's difficult. Packers, Vikings. Vikings are 2.5-point favorites here. Over under is 45. I have the Vikings winning this game. Now a lot of people are gonna sit here and say, "Oh, well, hey, they swept them last year. The Packers did. Oh, well, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, Valdez-Scantling, good defense, Jair Smith." Jair Alexander Smith, players like that. Oh, they're so good. Don't get me wrong, the Packers have a lot of talent. Vikings do too. Good defense, good offense. This is going to be a very good game. I think this game could be decided by 1 point. This could very well be like a 28-27, 28-24 maybe, 21-20 game. This could very well be a close game. I think the over-under is 45. I think that's going to be, I take the over. And the Vikings 2.5, I think it could very well be 2-3 point. I think it could very well be in the range of 3-point game to like a 1-point game. I think it's going to be a very close game. I give the Vikings the win. The only reason I give them the win, well, you saw my power rankings. Packers, I think the Vikings are personally better than the Packers. I think, Rudolph, Thielen, Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, their defense. Packers are good, don't get me wrong. I just think, the Vikings are home. I just think being home, even without really, if you don't have fans there, I think the Vikings are home. I think the Vikings are going to bring their own energy. I think the Vikings are going to win this game. I think it's very close, though. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens in this game. Vikings win. I think out of all these picks I just made, this would probably be my first loss, I would predict. I could very well see this being my first loss. It's not that I don't believe in the Vikings, it's just this is such a tough game to pick. I mean, before I came on the air, I already made my picks before I came on the air, so I don't have to try to decide them being like, who do I take here? I already made them. I already decided who I was going to pick, and I was sitting here thinking, I was like, geez, this is tough. Match up the stats, look at the numbers, Vikings should win. So, Vikings win. 2.5-point favorites. This is going to be a good game, I think. So Vikings win this game. Next up, we got the Raiders, Panthers. I think the Raiders win. I mean, I think, the Panthers are just so bad. I think the Panthers are another one of those bad teams. I just don't foresee them doing much this season. I think Teddy Bridgewater, DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, they're going to be decent. I think the Panthers will probably finish 5-11 this year, 6-10, somewhere around there. Yes, they have a lot of good players on their team. They got a lot of good talent. They got McCaffrey, in my opinion, the best running back in the league. They got a good quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater. I think they got a decent receiver in DJ Moore. I still don't believe that this is going to be a Panthers team that beats them. I know the Raiders aren't anything special either, but the Raiders did just add Henry Ruggs. They got a little bit of a better secondary, added on defense, added on offense. I think the Raiders take this game 3-point favorites. I have the Raiders winning. Next up, we got the Seahawks. They're 2.5-point favorites. Over-under on that one was 47.5. I actually think it's going to be relatively. I think I take the under on the Raiders-Panthers game. I have the Raiders winning that game. Seahawks-Falcons, 2.5 points here is the spread of this game. I am very surprised by this because the Seahawks against the Falcons is like a crazy good game. Or crazy, I think the Seahawks are going to win this game. I don't know what's up with only getting 2.5 point favorites. The Seahawks are only 2.5 point favorites for a team that hasn't made the playoffs last year. I just don't foresee that. I just don't foresee that happening. I really don't. I don't foresee the Seahawks winning or the Falcons winning. I think this is good. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be 10, 14 point game. Not a blowout, but I think it's going to be a lot more than just 2.5. I think the Seahawks win this game. Better defense, better offense. Falcons, okay offense, okay defense. Seahawks, top 10 offense, top 10 defense. Wouldn't call the Falcons or the Falcons offense or the Falcons defense a top 10. I get it, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Todd Gurley, Matt Ryan. I get it. I just think overall, the Seahawks are a better team. And the Seahawks win this game. Big. Not big. I shouldn't say big, because big means by 3 scores. This could very well be a 10, 14-point game. Over under 49. I take the over. Seahawks win. Next up, we got the Chargers-Bengals. This isn't a crazy tough game. It's just one of these games where it's either going to be the Chargers come out playing well or the Bengals just come out and Joe Burrow absolutely carries them. I mean, you got Joe Burrow, AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, I don't think is all that good. You got Joe Burrow, decent offense line. Your defense is Geno Atkins. And it's kind of just a bunch of old Geno Atkins who's out of their prime. I don't think their defense is all good. They got one of the worst run defenses in the league. Chargers have a good running back in Austin Eckler. Good receiver, Keenan Allen. Quarterback could be a little iffy in Tyrod Taylor, but I think his receivers will help him a little bit there. You have Hunter Henry at the tight end position. Pretty good defense. Chris Harris, Joey Bosa obviously signing that big deal this offseason. Good defense, good offense. Chargers win this game. Over under 42. I take the under there. Neither offense is overpowering. I think the under there. I think the Chargers win, though. This is probably one of the best games of the week for people, for sports fans. Saints-Buccaneers. You got Drew Brees' Saints versus Tom Brady's Buccaneers. A little bit of that NFC. You got a little bit of that NFC South, I'm pretty sure, battle. Saints-Buccaneers starting off the season. Division game starting it off. Can't get much better than Saints-Buccaneers to start it off. 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. Saints, I say, win this game. They're 3.5-point favorites. Over-unders 48. Saints win this game, I think. Here's my thing. Saints have proven they can win big games. Buccaneers, Brady, Gronk, Godwin, Evans. Evans is questionable. It's game time decision. Evans doesn't play. Saints definitely win. Evans plays. Closer game. I think the Saints win. Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, defense, Cam Jordan, a lot of other good players. Buccaneers, Tom Brady, Gronk, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Gronk and Brady should be interesting to see what happens. I think the Saints win this game. I think it's going to be a very close game. I take the over here because it seems like a lot of these games are usually shootouts. I take the over on the 48. And I think the Saints win. 3.5-point favorites. I give the Saints the win here. I think Brees is just gonna win. It's a good matchup. A little Brees Brady matchup. NFL football kicking it off Sunday. This game's gonna get a lot of good ratings. I think the Saints win this game though. I give the Saints the win. It's gonna be a very close game. Next up, we got the Cardinals-Niners. Niners come in at 7-point favorites with over under 48. I have the Niners winning this game. I think the Cardinals are going to make it interesting. I think they'll make it a little bit interesting, but I think in the second half it just comes down to I think the Niners are going to win the game. I think the Niners just straight up are. I haven't been able to really see what DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray can really do. I really want to see that. So I want to see that. I think the Cardinals, have a lot of good players. Kenyon Drake, a lot of good players here and there. 49ers do as well. I think the 49ers defense, though, will come up late, come up big, and I think the 49ers win this game. I take the under on the over-under. 40, I take the under on this one. This will cap off the first Sunday of football. Cowboys-Rams, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 3-point favorites are the Cowboys. 51.5 is the over-under. I know this might sound absolutely crazy to all you people. I probably take the under on this one. I know a lot of people might think the over just because, it could very well get into the 30s. I take the over on this one. I take the over. Over of the 51.5 points. 3-point favorite Cowboys, Rams. I know the Rams are in a new stadium. Jared Goff, Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, players like that. I still give the Cowboys the win here. I know that's going to upset many of you viewers watching at home, but I give the Cowboys the win here. I get it. The Rams are in their new stadium. They're in their new stadium. Everybody's hyped. Everybody's like, woo, Rams, 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 Rams. I get it. New SoFi Stadium. Kind of fresh start for the Rams. I have the Cowboys winning this game. I have the Cowboys winning this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a good game. Cowboys win. Finish off the first Sunday of the NFL season with a Cowboys win, I think. And then on Monday, I'll do these games on Monday. Giants, Steelers, Titans, Broncos. I'll preview those on Monday. And by the way, if you see something flying past the camera, it is a fly. I know. I have a fly here. It's annoying. I just want to make that clear because I've seen it pop up on my camera every once in a while by recording. So if you're wondering what that is, it's a fly, just for your information. So let me just review all the picks again. Just going to go quickly down the line. Lions, Bears, I have the Lions winning. Ravens, Browns, I have the Ravens winning. Colts, Jaguars, I have the Colts winning. Patriots, Dolphins, Patriots winning. Eagles, Redskins, Eagles winning. Packers, Vikings, Vikings winning. Raiders, Panthers, Raiders winning. Seahawks, Falcons, Seahawks winning. Chargers, Bengals, Chargers winning. Saints, Buccaneers, got the Saints. Cardinals, Niners, got the Niners. Cowboys, Rams, got the Cowboys. And then the Giants and the Steelers and the Titans and the Broncos, I will preview those games on Monday and give you my picks then. Now, for the Jets game pick. Jets come into this game as 6.5-point underdogs. The over-under is 39.5. I've just gotten news about 15 minutes ago that Jets not looking good for Jets rookie Denzel, wide receiver Denzel Mims sits out practice, might not be able to go week 1 against the Bills. I'm going to make this straight up. This gives me more of a reason not to pick the Jets here. I have the Bills winning week 1. I would love to see the Jets win. I just want to make this clear. I'm going to predict the Jets a lot this year to lose until I see them finally get into a consistent winning streak. I'm going to tell you straight up, though, I hope all my Jets picks are wrong if I predict them to lose. That's all I'm going to try to say. But what I'm going to try to tell you is that the Jets, I don't think, win this game, especially with Mims out. If Mims is out, that's even more of a reason. Another reason why is you don't have an overpowering receiving core versus you don't have a very good receiving core, and you're going up against a very good cornerbacking core. Perryman, Jamison Crowder, good, not amazing. Poyer, Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde, very good, amazing. Not good, they're amazing. The Jets receiving core, not amazing, they're good. They're meh. They're a little bit maybe below average. I think Darnold has a decent game, and I'm gonna tell you, I think this game's actually close. I think it's like a touchdown game. 6.5. I think it's like a touchdown. I think the Jets. I make predictions for this one. I think the over under is 39.5. I think I take the over here because I think the Bills will score a decent amount. I think it's gonna be like 31-21 Jet, 31-21 Bills, 31-17 Bills. I don't think the Jets are gonna overpower, but I think the Bills will score up there. I think it's gonna be a defensive game. Actually, I don't know. It might actually be lower. Now, it might be lower. Here's the one problem. Jets have a very good run defense, but they don't have a very good secondary. And look who they're going up against. Cole Beasley, John Brown, and Stephon Diggs. And a pretty good quarterback in Josh Allen. So, yes, our run defense is dominant, but our secondary is not amazing. And Marcus May, there's rumors, too, that he might miss this game. If we don't have May or Mims, we won't win. We have May and Mims, there's a chance. We don't have May and Mims, no chance. Because now you got to bring up your probably Ashton Davis and Bradley McDougall. Ashton Davis isn't horrible, but I would rather May just to kind of feel more secure in. And then, you have Bradley McDougall, Marcus May, Brian Poole, Pierre Desire, Bless Austin, plays like that. But I think overall, the Bills win this game. I think it's a low-scoring game. I actually probably maybe take the under on this one. I just don't foresee the Jets scoring an abundant of points. I think this will be a defensive game, 21-17, 17-14, 24-21, 24-17, somewhere around there. Bills win. So hopefully the Jets win. Hopefully I'm wrong on this pick. But I just think with all the Jets injuries, now we might miss May, and now we might not have Marcus May. Might not have Mims. You're talking now. I think will be a big tell on Sunday is what Bell does. I hope Bell has a great game. I hope Bell scores a touchdown. I hope Bell has a touchdown, maybe 100 yards. I'll take it. If Bell has a touchdown, 100 yards, I'll take it. So I have the Jets, or I have the Bills winning this game, 6.5. I think it's just kind of just what is happened to the Jets. I just don't foresee us beating the Bills. I think that's just an obvious answer. I just don't have us beating the Bills. I just don't. I think that's just obvious. I think the Bills will probably win this game. I hope the Jets win this game. I hope I'm wrong. So I would give the Jets the win, but I just don't. I think the Bills are just too good. I think we're playing against the AFC East champions right here. I think we're playing against the AFC East winner. I think that's who we're playing with week 1. So, it's at Bill Stadium, New Era Field, or maybe it's just straight up Bill Stadium. Bill Stadium, Jets, Bills, gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited. Hopefully you are as well. That concludes my week 1 game picks, and then on Monday I'll give you all my everything else. So let me just quickly put these. So I had Seahawks winning. So let me just quickly tell you once again, just so then you really get it in there. I have Seahawks winning, Lions winning, Vikings winning, Patriots winning, Eagles winning, Raiders winning, Colts winning, Ravens winning, Chargers winning, Saints winning, 49ers winning, Cowboys winning, and then the Giants, Steelers, Titans, Broncos games. I will preview those on Monday. So that's what I got there. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm excited to see what all happens. I think these picks are gonna be pretty good. I think a lot of people realize that these are. I think this is a good game I think this is a good week. I think there's a lot of good games. I think Jets, Bills. I think that's gonna be a pretty good game. Considering I think it might be low scoring, but I think it's not. I don't think it's gonna be a crazy 14-point blowout. It could very well be 7-10 range. Texans Chiefs yesterday was a good game, but it was a little bit of a 14. I mean, the Chiefs pretty dominated that game. But one more time, Seahawks winning, Lions winning, Vikings winning, Patriots winning, Eagles winning, Raiders winning, Colts winning, Ravens winning, Chargers winning, Saints winning, 49ers winning, Cowboys winning, Steelers, Giants, Steelers, Titans, Broncos. We'll preview those on Monday. So, I gave you my Jets pick. I gave you it. I think it's going to be the final score is going to be like 21-17 Bills. I don't think it's going to be overpowering. I don't think it's going to be anything special. I think Darnold maybe throws for a touchdown and Bell does or something like that. But it should be a lot of fun. I'm just so excited for football season to start. And tomorrow's college, too. Tomorrow, you got some good games on tomorrow. You got Clemson, Wake Forest, so that might not a great game, but it's a kickoff of seeing the big teams play. I think it actually could be a pretty good game. Miami yesterday saw that game on the phone, watched the condensed game and stuff. That was a ton of fun. The Miami looked good. They played well. Cameron Harris played well. Derek King played well. Tight ends played well. Receivers played well. Defense stepped up in big moments of that game. Played well overall. So, good day of football yesterday. We saw the Chiefs win. Got that pick correct. We got the Miami correct. 7-1 for college. I'm off to a hot start in college. Yeah. So far in fantasy, I'm losing 30 8 in one league and winning 30-10 in the other. But that's also because I had my kicker in the one league, and he had a running back and a receiver. He had Clyde Ozeyiwa and Tyreek Hill, and I had a kicker, so it's normal for me to be losing by, 15? So, but first week of fantasy as well. That's another thing. We'll first week of fantasy, see who starts off 1-0. So, anyway, with all that being said, coming up next, I'm going to give you players you could start, players you shouldn't, players that are kind of toss-ups to start, and players you got to watch out for game time decisions. We'll be back. Coming right up next. Alrighty, so here we go. So, fantasy's back again. Great to have fantasy back. I'm currently winning 30-11 in one league. My opponent had Kelsey. He went for 6 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. I had Watson, 253 yards, 2 total touchdowns. A TD throw and a rushing touchdown and an interception. I had Tyreek Hill, 5 receptions, 46 yards, and a touchdown. Nothing crazy out of him, but he got me 10 points. So I'm winning in that league. Just some quick notes. Mike Evans, this came out Friday, September 11th at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Evans' hamstring took part in Friday's practice. Jenna Lane of ESPN.com reports. This is a little bit of a note on him. It appears Evans was only able to practice on a limited basis Friday, but it's a good sign that he was on the field after sitting out the previous 2 days. While Evans' participation provides reason for optimism, his status for Week 1 has not yet determined and may not be until game day. Has not yet been determined and may not be until game day. So I'm just going to put this here, folks. I'm going to tell you, gotta watch out. I mean, you're talking, when's that game? A 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game. So, you kind of gotta, that's what's tough about 4. I hate this when this happens in fantasy. If a player has even like a late game at night, and you don't know what to do, and if it's either he's questionable or he's a game time decision. If it's a 1:00 game, if it's the first games, you're sitting there and being like, all right, you're sitting there and being like, okay, we have a chance. I could decide, 5 minutes before the game if it says he's not going to play, then I could just quickly sub him out. For the later games, your whole lineup says played. Most of your whole bench has already played. If he doesn't play, then you really can't sell him out for anybody. So it's tough, but you just have to keep your eye out. Meaning, like, even tomorrow, the rest of today, tomorrow, and even Sunday morning, just look at your lineup and see if you find any more roster news. Press on him. Scroll down, and see what any new, just see what's new. Recent news, Evans' hamstring took part in practice. That's what I just read. So just be on top of it. Still questionable. He was projected 10 points. Now it's dropped to 8.7, which usually means sometimes if it keeps dropping, it usually means they're not going to play. But don't take that as advice because you just have to watch out. So this is who I started. I started Watson and Hill. No problems with that. Watson didn't play good. Hill played not too great productions out of either of those guys. But it is what it is. It's the first game of the season, still knocking a little bit of the rust off. Barkley versus Pittsburgh. I have him playing Monday night. I don't think there's any problem with that move. Kenyon Drake, San Francisco. This could be a little bit of a different move because they've got a very good defense. Very good defense. I mean, your backups could be Jordan Howard. New England is decent. I think Jordan Howard against New England actually wouldn't be a horrible move. I think Jordan Howard could actually have a decent game against New England. DeAndre Swift, I wouldn't recommend playing him this week. I think, even though I predicted them to win this game, and they're going to rely a lot on the veteran running backs against a veteran defense in the Chicago Bears. Drew Brees, Hunter Henry against Cincinnati. I would put him in, although I have Ertz in, so I'm taking Ertz. My flex is T.Y. Hilton. If you have T.Y. Hilton, I would start him as well. Even though it's Jacksonville. I think if you have any Colts player, Marlon Mack, Jonathan Taylor, I would recommend maybe playing them. Maybe choose from Marlon Mack or Jonathan Taylor. Choose from one of them. Really look who's maybe projected higher in the numbers and stuff. But Hilton, if you have Hilton, I would definitely recommend starting him. I mean, I like I said, it's kind of tough because I don't know what all your other receivers are looking like. I've still got Keenan Allen to go. I would recommend starting him against Cincinnati. Players that are a automatic go, I would say, is Barkley, Keenan Allen, Zach Ertz, and T.Y. Hilton. You got them playing the Cincinnati Bengals. You got them playing the Jacksonville and the Redskins. And then Barkley, I think Barkley always has a good game. Kenyon Drake could be a toss-up. Playing a good defense in San Francisco, that could be a toss-up. You have a guy like maybe Chris Carson playing against a less good defense in Atlanta. You have a guy like, I'm just trying to think of running backs off the top of my head. You have a guy like, why can I think of this here? Nick Chubb. Maybe you have Elliott and Nick Chubb, or Kamara and Nick Chubb, and then you have Kenyon Drake as well. I would probably put maybe Chubb in, just because Chubb's, yes, he's playing against, actually, Chubb, I mean, I think Chubb's better than Kenyon Drake. I don't think Kenyon Drake's all that great of a running back is what I'm trying to say. And against a good Niners defense, I'm not saying he could struggle, but he may not jolt you to the 15, 16 points that maybe you expect. He might give you 10, 11, touchdown, and maybe like 60 yards or so. I think Kenyon Drake will have a decent game, though. He could be a toss-up, though. Barkley, you kind of got to make a decision, too, on him, because Monday, there's not many players that still have to play. So, it's either you start him or you bench him. It's really one or the other. So, I'm going to keep with my lineup. Personally, I'm sticking with my lineup. Steelers defense against, actually, I just realized that's probably not a great idea. That's probably not a great idea to have Steelers defense and Giants. And Barkley there. It's probably not a great idea. I think the Steelers defense is going to dominate, but I want Barkley to also have a good game. I just realized that's a hole in my lineup that I just knew. And I haven't realized that since I drafted. It just hit me now that I have Steelers defense playing and Saquon Barkley. I have Broncos defense on the bench. I'll have to review the stats and see what's the better option. Because even though I have Steelers defense, and I've done it before, your running back puts up 50 for you, or your running back puts up 20, the defense could go absolutely ham on. The defense could go absolutely 3 interceptions. And, running back could have 3 touchdowns, but, I mean, the Steelers, I think, is going to I think the Steelers defense is going to have probably a decent game. Players you could pick up off of waivers. Roethlisberger's available against the Giants. I think he'll have a decent game. Rivers, if you have like a quarterback like a Matt Ryan, and you don't really completely trust him, he's there. I mean, I think there could be a possible player there. Best running backs available. I mean, Marlon Mack. Many people have said over and over again that he had a good season for them last year, and it could be a possibility for you to pick him up as well. Just a couple players there and here and there. James White. Players really just, some players you could be like, oh, I want this guy, I want him starting, I want him, and then there's some players that say, I don't really want him, I'm going to bench him this week, maybe pick him up. There's a ton of players on waivers, obviously, like always, so it really all depends on what league you're in. I'm in a personally, I'm not in a PPR league, so you're pretty much, if you're not in a PPR league, you're getting good advice, because I'm telling you really what to do in a non-PPR league. Now, in a PPR league, who knows? I could be telling you to get rid of this dude and pick up this guy because he gets more receptions, right? So, and we got to be prepared for that. Next up, we got my other league. Like I said, you have a guy like a Kenyon Drake playing. You don't feel 100% confident. You could always put in like a Chris Carson, or even like a running back like another running back. David Johnson played yesterday, but even like a Marlon Mack or one of those players here and there. Harrison Butker yesterday got me 10. I'm actually, at this very moment, I'm down 30.4 to 10 point nothing. So I'm down 30 to 10. I'm projected 113.9. My opponent's projected 110.5. I'm projected 113.9, rounded up to about 114. So, I mean, I'm confident. I've still got Roethlisberger to go. I've still got Roethlisberger, Elliott, Carson, Adams, Schuster, Kittle, Gurley, Bills defense. Still got my whole lineup. As for him, he he still doesn't have Elair or Tyreek Hill to go. And those are, you're getting big points from your running back and big points from your receiver. That's probably the mainly 2 main point hubs. So, I still got all those players to go, which is good. Elliott, I would recommend starting Elliott. Roethlisberger, if you have like a guy like a Drew Brees, don't be afraid to do Drew Brees. Drew Brees. You have a guy like a Rivers or Roethlisberger, that's a toss-up. That's kind of up to you. Rivers is playing against a bad team in Jacksonville, although their defense is the strength of their team, still very bad. You have a guy like him, or you're stuck with him or a Roethlisberger to decide. Kirk Cousins or a Roethlisberger, I would probably go with Roethlisberger maybe just because he's playing against a worse defense than the Packers defense. Devontae Adams, I would recommend starting. Schuster, I would say start. Kittle. Gurley's a toss-up. You might have started David Johnson. You could put DJ Moore there, Allen Robinson. Players here and there. There's a couple good players here and there that you could put in there. Bills defense, I think, is an automatic lock. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I think the Bills are going to have a couple nice plays for their defense personally. So I think that's a lock there. You put the Bills defense there. Now, if you have another defense, like maybe you have another defense, then things can get a little interesting. But overall, I think my lineup's pretty set. 113 points I'm projected. Hopefully that comes true because I wouldn't mind that. I would take a win if I'm projected to get a 113 and I get 113. That would be pretty good. To tell you the truth. Alrighty, so now we move into the Yankees. So, Yankees play today, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and at 7:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cole's pitching the first game. I give the Yankees the game number 1 win. Game number 2 win will depend on who's pitching. I think it might be Cole and Paxton, actually. I'm not sure. No, not Paxton. Cole and Monty. I'm not sure. Cole and Tanaka, that's who it is, Cole and Tanaka. I say they win both of these. I think the Yankees have a lot of momentum going, to be honest. I think even after just that game, straight up one win, I still think they have a decent game going. So I think the Yankees win both games. I think Cole gets him a good start, and I think Tanaka does a decent start. If our offense could play well, we will get both wins. So the Mets actually didn't need to worry about getting rained out yesterday, unlike the Yankees. Yankees did get rained out yesterday. Mets didn't even play yesterday. They played today anyway. So the Mets play 6:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against the Blue Jays. DeGrom's on the hill. I give the Mets the win again with DeGrom on the hill. Even though the Blue Jays played well against, even though the Blue Jays played well, I still give them the win. I still give the Mets the win here. Islanders, Lightning. I have the Islanders winning this game. Even though this might sound absolutely crazy, the only reason I have the Islanders winning this game is the Islanders had a very good end of the game last week. Last week they played 2 days ago on Wednesday they played very well. They lost that game, but they played very well. That's why I think they'll actually probably win this game. I think they've looked very good. I think they starting to figure out what the Lightning are doing. I give the Islanders a win, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then they play again on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will make my predictions on that game according to what happened today. I'll come onto the podcast on Monday, and I won't lie. I'll tell you who I predicted to win. Chiefs-Texans now. Chiefs won 34-20. Not much has to say. Mahomes 3 touchdowns, 211 yards. Watson went a rushing touchdown, a throwing touchdown, and interception, 256 yards, I think. It was a good game. Like I said, 253 yards. Okay. It was a good game. I think Watson looked. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire looked very good. I think Helaire looked very good. Mahomes did. Kelsey did. Hill had a couple of nice plays. Watson looked a little choppy. There was a tweet that was sent out by DeAndre Hopkins saying grateful about them losing that game. He's not very. I think he's done with the Texans there. Chiefs moved to 1-0 on the season, so that's pretty good for the Chiefs. Expected that coming. Expected that to be the outcome. Miami yesterday won 31-14. Derrick King looked very good. Had a couple nice runs as a quarterback. Had a couple nice throws. Little rusty, but definitely we got the job done. 31-14. We won. Predicted that game correct. So I'm 7-1 right now in my college game picks. And yeah, UAB struggled. They started off strong, but Miami defense held them down. Miami won 31-34 or 31-14. They play next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against Louisville. That should be a fun game. So Miami won yesterday's game. Cameron Harris had a good game. You had Derrick King, players like that play well. So not only I should actually give you the games. I should actually give you because tomorrow there's more games. So there's actually more. So the college football plays tomorrow as well. There's a lot of big games on tomorrow. College game day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first game's Iowa State, Lafayette, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I give the win to Iowa State. West Virginia, Eastern Kentucky. I give it West Virginia. I'm sorry. Both of those games are 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Syracuse, North Carolina. I actually give the win here to North Carolina. North Carolina's team's actually pretty solid. I give the win to North Carolina. Kansas State, Arkansas State. Kansas State wins. Appalachian State, Charlotte. Give Appalachian State the win. Army coming off of a big win against Middle Tennessee. They're playing LA Monroe. I give Army the win. Duke, Notre Dame. Notre Dame wins. Georgia Southern, Campbell. Give Georgia Southern the win. UTSA, Texas State. I give the win. Florida State, Georgia Tech. Mike Norvell, new coach down in Florida State. I give Florida State the win here. Pittsburgh, Austin Peay. Pittsburgh the win. Oklahoma, Missouri State. Oklahoma big time. I give them the win. South Florida, the Citadel. Give South Florida the win. Clemson, Wake Forest. This is the big nightcap. Give Clemson the win there. Tulane, South Alabama. Give Tulane the win. Louisville, Western Kentucky. Louisville the win. UTEP, Texas the win. Texas Tech, HBU. Texas Tech the win. Coastal Carolina, Kansas. I give Kansas the win. So full slate of college football there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So Clemson, I say, wins as well. So with all that being said, I feel like I haven't been able to take a deep breath on the pod today. This was a lot of football today. We have our game picks. We have NFL football this weekend. We have college football. We have baseball. We have hockey. We have everything. College football tomorrow. NFL on Sunday. Baseball today. Hockey today. All the sports are going. That's good. Felt good to get the game picks in. Definitely. I'll tell you what. All this week I've been waiting to get my game picks in. And I could have made them on Monday, but I wanted to wait just because I always do it on Friday. But, I already had an idea. When the schedule came out, I already had an idea of who you're going to pick and who you're going to take to win. When the schedule came out, I literally said the Bills will probably win that game. Even my Monday night game, I've already predicted that game pretty much. I already know what route I'm going to go with the Steelers, Giants, Titans, Broncos. I'm going to probably look over the stats. Kind of already knew with the whole, so a couple of the games you kind of know, you could just look at it and be like, this team will probably win. But it's still a lot of fun to make my game picks. So I have all my game picks, have them all saved, have them all written down and all that stuff. So I know if I get them correct or not, so I can keep my record. And on Monday, I will tell you my record. And then on Tuesday, I'll tell you my overall record for the week. My Sunday record, and then Monday night game will be also that record. So. So far, I'm 1-0 on my picks, and 7-1 on my picks in college football, 1-0 in NFL, overall 8-1. So very successful so far on my game picks. So I'm undefeated, 1-0 on the NFL picks. Good, should be a lot of fun. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your 2 full days of football, and the rest of today with baseball on. So tomorrow is college football. Sunday is NFL football, so enjoy your weekend of football. And, that's what I got. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you all back here on Monday. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.